What's up, you guys? So, I just got through with watching a video which I absolutely failed to link in the description below, but when I am done with the stream, I shall. And that is a video by Spotify in which Christina Aguilera was being featured, and she was talking about the best advice that she got. And I guess if I apply my critical analysis to this, I am hoping that she means the best advice that she got as an artist, because if this is the best advice that she has received as a person, then okay, I can see how it's applicable, but I will break it down and question it. So, allow me to consult my notes for the sake of keeping this ever overwhelmed brain in a linear manner. Okay, so basically, her message in this video is that no matter what you do, no matter what you try, no matter what it is, you're not going to be able to please everyone. That is true, but at the same time, what I like to say about that, how I like to think about that is if you know that you will not please everyone, why from the moment that your career took off, why were you concerned about what people thought? I know that it is important for you to guard your perception. You do care about what people perceive you as in, are you a kind person? Are you a useful person? Are you someone who genuinely cares about my well-being, etc. Because let's face it, the planet is full of hypocrites. So I am pretty sure that she is trying to be like, okay, there's bad people out there, but there's also good people out there. Let's focus more on the good people, but also the bad people, your critics, can teach you some constructive stuff, but you have to be able to read between the lines. So, okay, nothing wrong with that. But I guess when you are young, you tend to want to really leave an impression. And as someone who has never obsessed with the impressions that I leave on people, I guess that's why I'm sitting here just kind of being like meh about that comment, like duh, because I'm young. I'm probably the age that she was when her career took off, or the way that I am now when it comes to this, I have been since my adolescence. So, yeah, it's been a long time for me. So maybe that's why I don't see this as wow. But, anyways, she also mentioned something about breaking the boundaries so that your content becomes interesting. And I'm like, okay, by breaking the boundaries, you cited as an example that MTV back in the day would have banned your video for placing a hose in between your legs, and that back then it would have been censored, but now it's not a big deal like it used to be back then. Well, honey, what happens is I guess people like you and your movements have revolutionized the way that media is consumed. So, because folks like you went out there and normalized the image of you doing things that are deemed as inappropriate, that has become everyone's bread and butter. How many people do we not know of who shoot to stardom in more recent times because of that type of content? The type of content that should be reserved for the bedroom between you and your man. Now you have normalized it, so of course you are seeing the benefit of the seeds that you so much planted back in the day with so much passion and so much excitement, because you were young and you were excited, you were making money, you were becoming famous, you had a, by most people's standards, and by that I mean the industry that's ever obsessed with vanity, you were benefiting from the fact that you also had a body shape that was ideal for that. So, of course, you're going to have a taste of success. So, again, if that's the best advice, I hope that you mean that as an artist for anyone who's trying to get out there, who is desperate and they really want to make big money and fast and perhaps be remembered for the wrong things in life. But of course, that's going to be useful advice now that all these movements are going on in which it has to be acceptable that whatever it is that you put out there has to be respected and admired and whatever. And god damn it, I'm as frozen as the temperature in this house, but whatever. And I just wanted to express the fact that I do not think that is the best advice that you can give to someone professionally. But hey, if it worked for you and you want to spread the word, and that's the kind of role model that you want to be for the young generation, especially young generation of women who look up to you, then okay, you do you. I like to personally listen to her because of her musical talent as opposed to any life advice that she may possibly have. But whatever, that's just me. I'm just Zam, who is absolutely not famous and not rich in any way nor influential. But whatever. Yeah, the video seems like it froze. But anyways, hopefully you guys can still hear me. This has happened in the past, so I just keep rolling with it. Um, so yeah, basically, in the end, all in all, her message was that she simply does not care about who gets pissed off about her work because in the end, her legacy will live on. People are still going to listen to her music. People are still going to buy her music. People are still going to be like, okay, Christina Aguilera, very influential musical figure and this and that. So yeah, good for you. You made it to the music history books, I guess. But I'm just saying that for me personally, since my values are different, that would not be the way for me to go about becoming a star. I would rather become renowned for something that's actually useful for people. But again, that's just me. My values are different. I really do not yearn for such a status in my life. I am okay with being more reserved when it comes to that, but anyways. Well, I'm taking the hint, Miss Pamela. I guess I should make that Avi or the thumbnail as they call it in here, thumbnail for this video. But anyways, I'll consider it. But yeah, I'm going to catch up with what you guys are saying in the comments now, since I pretty much went over everything. She will sing Genie in a Bottle. Oh my god. If I had her voice, I would be making music like crazy. Because unfortunately, I can play music with an instrument, but my voice is not reliable as an instrument at all. I have major pitch problems. Like when it comes to intonation, I always sound like a damn rooster singing in the morning, and I just cannot do it. I cannot do it. I'm never on key, never on pitch, never anything. That advice is innocuous and vapid, pretending to be wise and relevant. See, um, I love that you mentioned the note of relevancy because she's not really very active as a musician, especially these days. And she recently came out with that one album, which I totally forgot what it's called, but I made a stream about one of her songs particularly. But it's just when it comes to being relevant, you have to accept the fact that with media being as what is it spread as it is so easy to find the other artists who are not even mainstream that people will love. So the advantage of the 90s and the early 2000s and all that is that things like YouTube were not around creating all these other stars that we know about. And basically, the folks who would have never had a shot at becoming famous are now becoming famous and having an audience. And therefore, mainstream folks, okay, you're still rich and influential because you have the resources to drive attention to your direction. But realistically speaking, when it comes to people getting to know who you are, the new generation, for example, they're not listening to the radio like we grew up listening to the radio. So they will never find out about you through that medium. And some of these famous people are getting mad about that, being like, I'm so and so. How come you don't know who I am? Everyone knows who I am. No. Back in the day, back in your time when you were, let's say younger, to sum it all up, people cared about you. But now time has passed, stuff has changed for you, and you're just not the cool person anymore. You're not the princess anymore. Sorry. But anyways, I think that when it comes to her professional advice, it's useful if you are willing to sacrifice your image like that. But for me personally, I do not want to be known for that stuff. I would rather be, if I'm famous because of my music, I will remain famous because of my music and not because, say, of my body, type, shape, form, color, and what I do with it or not. See what I mean? So, but anyways, you can, I guess, if you can exploit your talents, whatever they are, and that's what makes you happy, do it. But if people start criticizing you because their values are different, how about if you just listen, be understanding of where they come from and why that bothers them? They are listening to you to listen to your music and not be distracted by your body, but of course, those things sell. So if people start making gross comments towards you, honey, you kind of summoned it. You kind of asked for that and brought it to yourself. So I cannot feel very sympathetic of you if you have not taken the responsibility of taking care of your image. So, I want to feel bad for you and defend you and being like, yeah, these people are just, say, abusive of women and they talk bad about women and it's completely unwarranted, but are you taking care of your image? No. So I cannot feel sympathetic for you. I don't suffer from that stuff, maybe because I do my work of being appropriate when I present myself to a audience. I'm not going to go around showing things that I don't want for people to be bringing up later. So no one can say, yeah, did you notice Zam's body part? Oh my god, isn't that? Don't give people the means to talk about you and your life will be better. Just saying. Just saying. Let's see. Where am I? Well said. I once had a wet dream of Christina Aguilera. Are we talking about the belly button era? I guess so. Video froze. Is it just? Yeah, I just said that. Man, your stream just froze. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes this thing works with me, other times against me. Sometimes it comes back and it starts moving again, but I have absolutely zero control over that unless I stop the stream, which I ain't gonna do. Nice selfie pic. Yeah. Genie in a Bottle is the only hit I know. I also know Reflection from the Mulan movie, which, let's face it, that is a pretty sweet song. If you want to just cry for a little while or something, well, if you're a sentimental being, then that'll definitely have its effect on you. But my personal favorite songs by her that I actually legit listen to and even practice from time to time, because let's face it, her music is good to warm up your soprano range. But I know of the song Hurt, which Christina Aguilera, rest in peace, did a good cover of. Genie in a Bottle, Fighter, Infatuation. It's pretty sweet. See, her lyrics honestly do not resonate with me at all because I'm not a chick who goes around showing her body and hitting up the club and shit, picking boys up, right? But, or drinking or something. But for me, I just, what can I say? I just like her instrumental arrangement and her voice. She has a good voice. She is talented. Like, are you kidding me? Have you heard her vocal range? That is pretty impressive. She has so much control of her upper register. So, of course, as a person who loves music and I love to study it and practice it, I can find inspiration from her works. Just like I admire Emily of Evanescence. I don't worship them, but I can acknowledge the fact that they are talented at what they do. Um, but outside of that, I just ain't rolling with it. Her values, I just cannot roll with it. Let's see, where am I at? Oh yeah. Right. So I know hurt, reflection, Genie in a bottle, fighter, infatuation, fall in line, and twice. Twice has a very beautiful beginning. She has an awesome, like, backup vocals, melody to it. I love it. I absolutely love it. So when I first heard that song, I thought, oh my God, could it be that Christina is coming back like she used to be like decades ago? She was really cool in my book. But yeah, I also know a song called what is it, Zan? What is it, Zan? What is it, Zan? Bound to You. That's another good song. And there's another song along those lines, but I kind of forget. Uh, what is it? You Lost Me. That's the other good song. And of course, her songs tend to be very emotional, very sentimental. It's always about a romance gone wrong or something. And then there's another good song about her dad. It's called I'm Okay. And she's pretty much talking about her dad and the abuse that she experienced and all that. Which lyrically it can mess you up if you're having a downtime. But when it comes to the instrumental arrangement, again, very nicely put, very nice sound to it. So again, the lady is talented, but unfortunately for me, someone like me, she cannot be a role model for me when it comes to the personal aspect of it because her values do not align with mine. Clearly, she exploited her image because she knew that she could make a lot of money from that. Maybe those were not her values originally, and they are the consequence of the um, industry that she got involved in, and she was being pushed. But come on, there are many successful artists out there that have not had to recur to that sort of thing. They may not be as cool, like what can I say, having the whole planet knowing about them, but at least they knew to focus on what made them famous in the first place, which was music. So, but anyways, let's see. I don't follow pop culture, so I do not care about them. Sincerely, I do not care about them as individuals. I care about them for the work they contribute because I like to listen to music. I like to know what's happening. I like to know what people are listening to these days, what's hot, what's popular, what's influential. But like always, every time period has its perks, has its stuff going on that makes it what can I say, popular for the time, just like certain hairstyles and ways of dressing were the thing for a certain time period. So the question is, do you enjoy the evolution of music? But eventually music may once again transform and we may see it go in a new direction that some of us are going to love, some of us are going to hate, and some of us are going to be in that little gray area of sometimes something cool and enjoyable comes out, but it is very seldom. So I just, the way I go about life when it comes to music is if I hear it and I like it, I have it, I own it. But I'm not going to sit there and try to force myself to like whatever artists are relevant in the present just so that the young people see me as cool and what can I say, up to date. Do people really listen to music that much, or are these views and popularities being bought? Is your spot on the charts being bought? It's possible. So so you have to consider those things as well. That usually someone's popularity is not just the public genuinely agreeing with it. Because in my personal experience, when I go around talking about music, nobody, absolutely nobody ever mentions whoever is cool or was cool. Like for me, between 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, the artists I knew that were mainstream were Katy Perry and my wife Justin Biaba and stuff like that. But after that, who's popular now? Bruno Mars or any old artist that no longer puts out music as regularly and they come out with something and they become a big hit again like Justin Timberlake. But somehow you go into the comment sections of their music videos and people are like, oh my god, you lost your relevance. Oh my god, you're just like so not cool anymore. Oh my god, what happened to your old style? I definitely dig that better than the bullshit that you're putting out now. Like, what happened to the old Justin? Remember NSYNC Justin? He used to be like so cute. Oh my god, he was so fucking cute. I wanted to marry him, but now he's gross. Like, what is happening? What is happening with y'all? What is happening with the audience? Where are your values at? Do you value the music or do you value the image behind the music? You know? So, those are some questions that I have. But at least in my personal social circle of adults like me, nobody talks like that. We usually talk about older artists like the Doors or the Beatles or stuff like that. Just the first wave of musicians that really left their mark on the planet. And then people try to come up here and be like, oh yeah, you know that Justin Bieber surpassed, I don't know, is it Michael Jackson when it comes to being the most heard pop artist of all time? Again, since it's so easy to make money from many different mediums now, how much of that influence is actually bought? How much of that popularity is actually bought? How much of those views and sounds are actually purchased, but it's not by the general public? It's by an intermedium to make you be high in the charts, whatever that may mean. See what I mean? The music industry is just not transparent like that. So just follow your gut. If you genuinely enjoy the sound of something, embrace it, love it, enjoy it. Don't expect to impress others with your music taste. I sure do not do that. But I am someone who likes a little bit of everything. There's some rock that I like, there's some heavy metal that I like, and I know absolutely nothing of the bands. I'm not going to sit here and say I love Luther Ingram when all I know about him is one song, or claim that I love Ray Charles when all I know is two songs of him. I can say I enjoy two of his works, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know everything about him. See what I mean? So just be honest about it. Be like, my preferences are miscellaneous. If I hear it and I like it, I love it, I own it. But anyways, that's just my opinion. Let me see. Comments. Where am I? Aguilera is from the MTV era, which was kind of perved out, and the channel made her present herself that way. Exactly. We all know it that MTV at some point used to legit show music, but then at some point it started becoming less music, more about being all, what is it, showing the image of, I guess, promiscuity to sell more and stuff, whatever the hell it is that makes that a lucrative business. So I remember Amy Lee of Evanescence talking about that aspect of the industry, how there are these girls who are selling their bodies pretty much. Like Britney Spears, it is said that everything that she does is auto-tuned. And if you pay attention, if you have a really good ear, you can hear that stuff. That lady's voice does not at all resemble what we hear when she does an interview versus what she records in a studio. I'm not saying she cannot sing at all. It's possible that she cannot sing at all. but but when it comes to her actual skills, they're not there. She has her music written for her and recorded for her and all that stuff. She is just that image of the Britney Spears brand because that's what she is. But who she is actually completely different. So, these artists, again, if I wanted to be like, hey guys, I'm going to completely pursue a musical career, they are not the people I would go to or look up to because my focus is different. But again, some of them have talent. We got to give them credit, but they're not ideal role models. That's what I'm trying to say. There is something important in this advice. I heard it from another creator as no matter what you do or don't do, someone somewhere is going to hate your guts. You can't let that bother you. And that's true. I mean, whatever videos of mine that are semi popular, like the one I made about Serena Williams back in the day and all that, no matter what, someone is going to find something repulsive about my opinion. Other people are going to admire me for it. How many of you did not arrive to my channel because you found a video of mine that you were like, you know what, girl, go get it. You're saying the right stuff. Or you are very open minded. I admire your curiosity. Basically, you admire me for whatever trait it is. You admire me because clearly I am a good representative of some parts of your values. You do not consistently agree with everything 100%, which is fine because I'm my own individual, you're your own individual, but at least just like I can pick and choose the good content from mainstream artists, you can pick and choose the good content about me that I put out. So all I do is put my stuff out. Whoever likes it, great. I'm glad that I make your day. I'm glad that I make you laugh. But if the rest of you don't feel like staying around any longer, honey, we are not married. You can keep going with your life. I encourage you to. The internet is huge and this planet is huge. There's so much stuff out there to look at and explore. But if you feel compelled to leave a comment telling me that you no longer enjoy my stuff, okay, but just remember that my value when it comes to this channel is the fact that I am creating something and I get to socialize. I am not trying to be here to be the a rising voice of reason because I am an ignorant ass person. I cannot claim to have that much influence because I know that I need a lot of work on a lot of areas of me. But, it's a work in progress. Some things I will get better at quickly, other things I may never get better at. And other things I'm comfortable enough with the way things are to remain that way. And no amount of peer pressure is going to make me change that. So just be confident in who you are, period. Reflection is, I want to read that in Ollie voice. Y'all want to hear my Ollie impression? Reflection is literally the only Christina Aguilera song I know. Okay, Ollie, I'm done picking on you. I remember Dirty. You know what? I don't remember what Dirty sounds like. Um, I know I sampled it because I went on iTunes one night and I listened to every single song that she ever put out, and I'm like, what have I been missing out? Because I only know of the songs that ever hit the charts, and other than that, everything else just sort of gets lost. But I don't remember Dirty. I feel like it was spelled with two R's or something. Something about it was different. A better voice than Britney Spears, of course. Again, I feel like Aguilera actually has talent, whereas Britney is too reliant on freaking autotune. I worship them. Well, if you worship them, good for you. That's what makes you happy. They clearly represent the stuff that you enjoy, and I'm not even being sarcastic. Like, I mean that. If they really do it for you, then good. Worship them, love them, do whatever you want with them. But for me personally, that's not where my values lie. Why is the screen frozen? I don't know, honestly. This happens from time to time. It tends to. I honestly cannot explain when I have observed this happening, but I know that it just happens on occasion, and I have no way of refreshing the video or anything. And my reception was actually pretty good before I started streaming to avoid this type of thing, but at least you guys can hear me from the looks of it. So as long as you can hear me, then we'll do something about the image later. And besides, you guys know what I look like. Nice Valley Girl impression. Yeah, like, yes. Oh my god, you ever hear how these people talk like? I mean, it almost seems like everyone who is famous absolutely has the same pitch to their voice and also the same accent. If you pay attention to it, you can totally see what I'm talking about. Like, they literally all sound the same. It's like the same mother birthed them in the same little corner of the planet. It's pretty amazing. But I mean, they know each other, I guess. So you don't want to stick out like the oddball, you know. Feels like I'm watching an AI video, lifeless. Yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, maybe next time that I stream this won't happen. I know it happened briefly yesterday, but yeah, treat it like a podcast. One of those audio ones that people just record and there's only sound to it, of course, and no video recorded, which I personally don't stick around for, but anyways. And I guess the whole fun of video is to actually see my facial expressions and whatnot, but sorry. Do you like Shakira? It's another case of some of her songs are cool, some of them aren't. Um, the last song that I remember that she put out, I think it's from like maybe 2014 or something. It was called Can't Remember to Forget You. And that is the last thing I knew of her, the last I heard of her. And prior to that, I knew of, what is it? This is from like early 2000 shit or mid 2000 shit. God, I remember how the song sounds, but I don't remember the lyrics or the title. Let me think about it. Objection. No, hips don't lie. No, no, I absolutely abhor, detest, hate, dislike, and just, you get it. That song. It's fucking stupid. I don't even know why it was so popular. It's not my kind of instrumental arrangement. It just isn't. But yeah, it was Objection. That's the name of the song. It has kind of a it has an intro with a piano in it, and maybe that's the part of it that made it catchy for me. It's kind of tango-y in the beginning, from what I remember. But yeah, Objection and Can't Remember to Forget You are the only songs that I can think of that I ever listened to from that lady. So yeah, that's it. So overall, when it comes to her personally, I've never heard her outside of music, so I don't know how she talks during interviews. I don't know what her views on the world are, stuff like that. So can't tell you much about her. So sorry if you're expecting more from me, but at least I know who she is. And last time I saw her, she used to be blonde and curly haired and slim. And she was also dating, wasn't it Gerald Piqué or something? Soccer player? Something like that. Let's see. Alberto Luna says hi. Hi. Good to see you. Well, guys, I have been rambling for quite some time now, 34 minutes. And unfortunately, my stream got boring because it froze like 30 minutes ago. So, yeah, I am going to bail on you guys now. And thanks so much for tuning in and for just hanging out with me and sharing your thoughts and opinions. And if I hear anything else that triggers a chain of thoughts like this topic, I will make sure to share it because there is a lot out there that I just keep to myself. But anything that I hear that I can think of that I can just contribute to, I'll make sure to just throw it out here. Goodbye, Siri. I mean Zemri. Affirmative will. I am signing out now. Good to see you. Good day. Goodbye.